AmaZulu King, Misuzulu kaZwelithini, will appear in public for the very first time since Monday's court proceedings, where one of his wives tried to stop him from marrying a third wife. Now, the monarch is due to address the 146th Battle of Isandlwana commemorations in Nquthu. This is going to be tomorrow, without the traditional prime minister who usually manages these proceedings. Newzroom Afrika's Ziyanda Ngcobo joining us live now for an update. Ziyanda, this has to be a very difficult moment for the monarch. As we mentioned in that introduction, the Prime Minister of the Zulu nation, usually central to organizing events such as these ones. The Battle of Isandlwana, steeped in history of the Zulu nation and who this nation has become. Talk to us about some of these, and of course, the fact that we are going to be seeing the king for the very first time in public.
That's right, and everyone will be watching with a keen and close eye as to what the king is going to say. There's been a lot of movements just in the last 48 hours and the last month, ever since the king went into seclusion in late January. There's no longer an AmaZulu traditional prime minister. His spokesperson and right-hand man, Nquthu Zulu, is no longer there. He withdrew the security detail and benefits of Queen Nomzamo Mnyeni. There's been a lot of back and forth. Is there a wedding? Is there not a wedding? Yesterday's a court interdict attempt by Queen Kamaisela falling flat, and we'll be waiting to see then what the king will say about these movements. Is this a royal household in disarray, or is this a reset button for the king? There are many within the royal family who want to see this moment being used to communicate a clear message to the AmaZulu nation about the future and the vision of this particular nation, and the monarch himself and what he deems, or what his thinking has been when it comes to these events. We also understand then that there will be a postponement of those two ceremonies as a result of a ceremony or ritual called Ukushiswa God on the 12th of February, and therefore, as a matter of technicality, by those who've explained to me, the king is technically still in seclusion. So all the hullabaloo about the two ceremonies seems to have passed. But let's bring in then the leader of the AmaZulu regiment, Sipho Mhlongo, to talk about amalungiselelo akusasa njomane njengoba nibutho nihlela kanjani your role enizoidlala kusasa.
Amalungiselelo omkhosi wakusasa ahamba kahle kakhulu, aqale ngesonto esigodlweni sasondini lapha yakwacetshwayo. Imbube yafika ngesikhathi santambama, yayikhipha impi, yayibusisa, yazofika eSandlwane ngesonto ntambama ngabo-7 ebusuku. Safika sayiqala ikhempe ebihlanganisa ibutho elincane nebutho elikhulu. Kwaba usuku lwayizolo, sayiqala ikhempe, sayiqala ngama-workshop abehlumelelisa iy'milo egengeni encane, ibutho elincane lesilo usilwanetshe. Kwazi kwaba ukuthi siba nomhlangano emini namadayats la angamangisi ekuzobe siviliyela nawo kusasa. Saba nomhlangano, saba nesikhathi sokureheza osukwini lwayizolo nasosukwini lanamhlanje ekuseni, kuze kube manje amalungiselelo ahamba kahle kakhulu, kuhlelekile yonke into, kuzobe kusesimeni. uZulu uzobe nganguzulu emakheni osukwini lakusasa.
Njomane, njengoba wena umdidiyelo wamabutho, ubona kunezinto eziningi, kunezigameko enkantolo. Ngikhumbula nango-2022 sila eSandlwana kwakusanda kuba nezinkinga, ingxushunxushu khona ezinkantolo nakhona futhi. Njengengubo yesilo, nithini nina njengebutho mayelana nezinto eniyibona zikhulunywa either einkundleni zokuxhumana noma emndenini endlunkulu?
Empeleni ke thina njengengubo yokwembatha yesilo, iroli yethu iyi-1 nje, ukubizwa umdala wethu imbubu endlula mthamakhosi isitshene ukuthi eleni ukuyiqhaza nanti, noma isizwe siyonakala, siyalimala lapha nalapha nalapha. Uma singakabizwa, singakatshelwa lutho, kusuke kuyindaba engakasithinti le kusuke kuyindaba yabadala besayikhuluma njengamanje singakubona konke sikuzwe konke kodwa akukhona okwethu akukasidingi thina.
Uma singachazela umuntu ongakaze abone umkhosi wakusasa singalendelani kakhulukazi makuthiwa kuba umdlaliswano wokwenza ngathi iyona impi eyayenzakala ngo-1879.
Silindele ukubona ngoba sithi sikhumbuzo nje sempi yaseSandlwana silindele ukubona ukuthi ma kunesifundo salento ukuthi uZulu wawanqoba kanjani amangisi ngoba leyo nto leyo uma ngabe nombani nje ikhuluma ibeke emqondweni wakhe inenkinga ethi kodwa ungafika kanjani kumuntu iphethe isibhamu wena uphethe umkhonto kodwa ke into yakhona ngoba sisho nje ukuthi sobe sireheza singcweka nabo isithombe sakhona usithatha usibeke ukuthi kwenzeka kanje silindele ukuthi wonke umuntu afike azobona ukuthi okhokho babo bakhe bayinqoba kanjani impi yamangisi eSandlwana.
Asibonge lapho ke. That is Sipho Mhlongo. He is the leader of the Zulu regiments. Just to quickly translate there, speaking about the plans, there will be a reenactment of the Battle of Isandlwana that took place on the 22nd of January 1879, and he's just explained that it's an opportunity for those in the AmaZulu nation and at large to see what actually took place then, how the Zulus defeated the British using spears when they had guns. And in relation to the question, I asked him about what they deem to be or understand to be happening in and around the AmaZulu monarch and the family, and he said their role is only one. They take instructions from the king with regards to what's happening. If there's something that requires them as the regiments, as the protectors of the king, they would take that direction from him. And so far, they've not been called to such a meeting or have not been given such an instruction to, go out all out in war to protect him. And therefore, the matter is being discussed by the family and does not involve them at this stage.